Hello and welcome to my video, and today what I thought I would do, just in case this helps someone else, is I thought I would explain to you how I trained my cat to use a scratching post. I know that cats scratching furniture and carpet can be so frustrating and annoying, especially if you've got a new sofa or new carpet, for example. So I thought I would do this just in case anybody picks up some tips from me. Obviously all cats are different, so I can't guarantee that what I've done is going to work for you, but I will explain what I did. First of all, for those that don't know, I am a qualified veterinary nurse, so I love all animals, and I used to have a dog, and with my dog I clicker trained her to do quite a few different tricks. And when I lost my dog, I ended up with my little cat called Steve, and he actually came home from the vets. He was signed over by his owners because they couldn't cope with his illness anymore. He had a blocked bladder and they couldn't pay for all the treatment because they also had health issues themselves. Anyway, he was at the vets and needed lots of treatment, and I said, oh well, shall I take him home and nurse him at home, because all the charities were full, and I just thought it would be nice for him to recover in a home environment, and also the charities then wouldn't have to pay for the vet bills as well. So anyway, he came home with me. I had no intention of keeping him because he wasn't really my sort of cat. He was very, very nervous, and I wanted a fairly confident cat. But anyway, yeah, he's still here. When I had him in my house, I had wooden flooring, and he didn't seem to be interested in the sofa or anything, but he was very, very nervous. So he used to spend most of his time behind the sofa. Anyway, when I moved home and I was in my new property, I had a new carpet put down, and the first thing he wanted to do was shred the carpet. And I thought, I'm going to try and see if I can train him out of that habit, because he did have a scratching post, but he just wasn't that keen on using it. So I've got some tips to see if it will help you guys, and let me know if it works as well. I'll be really interested to know. So the first thing to do is not to punish your cat when they're scratching your furniture. This is a natural behaviour for cats, so cats that go outside, you'll often see them scratching trees, fence posts, maybe fence panels. So cats do this for various reasons. They use it to exercise their paws, also their spine, because they often stretch up as they're doing it, and their forelegs. They use it to de-stress as well. So my cat, for example, he'll come into the room, the first thing he'll do is he'll walk over to his scratch post now, and he will just have a good scratch on it, and then he will chill out. So that's just his habit. And the other reason that cats will use scratching posts, or they need to, is to remove the outer part of their claw. So for example, if you see your cat's been using a scratching post or your furniture or carpet, you might find the outer layer of a claw, which is called the husk, and they need to shed that so that they can get the sharper claw underneath to come to the surface. So you may find bits of claw around scratching posts or furniture. So I don't know if it will pick it up on camera, but as you can see at the base of the post here, you can see there's two little bits, look like bits of claw. So these are the husks that he's shedding when he's scratching the post. And another reason that cats do it as well is because they leave a scent where they've scratched. So that it's just a marker to show other cats where they've been, and they'll leave pheromones from between their pads on the post, or indeed on your furniture. But what I did with my cat is, I will show you the post in a minute that we started with, because I only had a little one to start with, and whenever he went to the carpet to start scratching it, I was watching him, and I would go over, pick him up, and then take him over to the scratching post. And to start with, he was a bit confused, he didn't know what to do, he would just smell it. But whenever he paid attention to that post, I would reward him. So I'd say good boy in a nice pleasant tone, and then I would give him a little treat. So with the location of the post to start with, you might have to start it in a really inconvenient location. I put it in the middle of the room so that I could see it and I could see when he was interacting with the post. So whenever he went up to it to smell it, I would reward him, say good boy, give him a treat. The other thing that's really important when training your cat, particularly if they're food orientated, is a case of finding the right treat. And what I used were Dreamies, because my cat absolutely loves Dreamies. So whenever he paid attention to the post or touched it, I would give him a treat. And then other cats prefer other treats. Not all cats like Dreamies. I do cat feeding jobs as well. And some cats I go to have zero interest in Dreamies. So you need to find a treat that your cat likes. Some cats absolutely love these treats. They're called Licky Licks, and they come in different flavours, and they're in little sachets, and you tear off the top and it's very liquid inside. So what you can do is you can put a bit on your finger. The other thing you could do is you could use this to wipe it onto the post as well. Make sure your cat likes it first. Wipe it onto the post, then when they go to lick it off, praise them. And eventually you might find the more attention they give to the post with more praise, that they'll eventually go to scratch it. So these are quite good. Obviously see if your cat likes it first. And some people use catnip as well, so they'll use the catnip spray, or you can get little packets of catnip and you can put that around the post as well. So if your cat is not willingly scratching the post, what you can do is just use like a little dangly toy, like this one, and dangle it in front of the post to get your cat's attention. And whenever your cat goes near the post or touches it, or even tries to get the toy but touches the post, then reward them, because it's one step closer. A lot of the tricks I teach Steve are all done in stages, so you get closer and closer to the end action that you want. So the other thing you need is a lot of patience. Some cats will realise quite quickly what the post is for. Other cats will take quite a long time. I think with Steve it took about 2 days. So I was continually watching him, watching the post, and eventually when he did go to scratch the post, he got so much praise and so many treats that after that he was like, oh, this is good, so I'm going to get treats if I do this, and he twigged quite quickly. And eventually over time I reduced the amount of Dreamies, and then I moved the post to a place that I found more convenient as well, so it wasn't in the middle of the room anymore. The other thing that's really important is to find a post that your cat likes. So there are some important criteria. First of all, make sure that the post is sturdy enough, because you want it to be big enough for your cat so that if they are leaning up and scratching it, that there's still some height of post above your cat's length. So I've been to a house, for example, where somebody had a tiny little kitten scratch post and their cat was quite big, and they expected their cat to use the kitten post, and I advised them that the cat just wouldn't do that, because number one, it was too small. Number two, if the cat went to use it, the post would fall over. And the other thing that the cat would really want is something that's really sturdy as well. The last thing a cat wants is to go up to a post, start scratching its claws, and then the post falls over or falls onto them, which is even worse. So you need to make sure that you have a really sturdy post. What I'll do is I'll show you some examples of the posts I've got, and the posts that my cat loves. Your cat might not like them, but these are the ones that work for Steve. So the little scratching post on the right, that was his first ever scratching post. You can see it's quite worn out. And then that's the one that I trained him on. And then I found this one on the left. I call it the bollard because it's huge, it's much bigger than I expected. I got him this one because it's a lot more sturdy and he uses it every single day. So as soon as we come in the front door or the back door, we can normally hear him scratching away on it in preparation for our arrival. And he can even sit on the top of this one because it's so big. And then this is the type of scratching post I've got in the lounge now. And he's had this one for a few years. I found this one online for about £20. It was brand new because another cat hadn't used it. And I really like these ones. It's really sturdy, and because it's got platforms on here as well, he can climb up onto different levels, and he often sits up there and looks out the window when the blinds are open. And you can see how much he's used this one because it's totally obliterated on the left hand side. But he also uses the right hand side as well, and sometimes he does it upside down from the top of the platform. And then this one also doubles up. You can either put toys in the bottom. It's got a big hole in there. Yes, he's a spoilt cat with lots of toys. Or some cats even like to sleep in there. Steve never liked sleeping in there, so I just put all his toys in there. So I've got this in here, and then I also have the same scratching platform type post in the bedroom as well. And he also likes sitting on there looking out the window. So I really recommend these ones. And then sometimes he uses the scratching post to chill out, look out the window and see what's going on in the world. So these scratching posts are a good idea because they've got multiple uses. So Steve just had his dinner and now he's de-stressing and giving himself a little clean on top of his big scratching post, which he loves. And yeah, sometimes he likes to scratch on it upside down. The other thing as well is the angle of the post. Some cats like vertical posts, which my cat does. Some cats like horizontal posts. For example, I went to another cat sitting job, and the lady had just got a new cat, and she bought a vertical post for her cat, which was absolutely fine. But I noticed her cat was totally ignoring it, and he was going to scratch on the carpet. So I said to her, it might be worth trying one of the horizontal scratching posts, and some of them are made of corrugated cardboard. You can get some that have got carpet lining. So she bought one of the corrugated cardboard ones just to try to see if it helped. Her cat got onto it. As soon as he got onto it, he gets lots of praise, so he knows it's a good thing, and some treats. And I think within a day or two he was using it as a scratch post. So he stopped scratching the carpet, and she was so pleased she bought another one. So now she's got one in each room, so that he's got somewhere he can go. And whenever he uses it, he gets lots of praise. And if ever I'm there, he gets praise and treats as well, just to reinforce the behaviour that we want. Other cats, they like to have a bit of a slope, so you can get sloping little platforms as well. I've got a little clip in a minute of one that is shaped like a shark, so that's another one that you can get. You get wavy ones. It's a case of finding what your cat likes. And then this one's quite cool because it's in the shape of a shark. So this one's got sloping bits, which some cats like as well, and you can get others that slope completely upwards. So anything like that is also worth trying, and particularly if your cat likes scratching carpets. My cat likes to do both, so primarily he likes vertical, but he also likes horizontal as well. So I've got some mats in the house which he loves to scratch, and once again I will show you clips of those so you can see. And if he scratches those, once again he gets praise because I don't mind him scratching there. But if he scratches somewhere he's not supposed to, I would pick him up and take him to the place I'd want him to scratch. The other thing to do is to make sure you've got enough scratching posts. So, for example, we have got 3 main posts. So he's got the main one in the lounge, he's got one in the bedroom, and then he's got one in the hallway as well. And then he can use 2 mats as well. He's got one by the front door, one by the kitchen door, and actually there's another one outside the kitchen door which he can scratch as well. So make sure you don't just have one scratching post. Try and have maybe 2 or 3 around the property. And then this is the mat in the kitchen that he is allowed to scratch. If ever he scratches on there, I don't mind at all. I'd rather he scratched on here than on furniture and carpet. And as you can see, it's quite a thick mat. He can get his claws right into it. And because it's rubber backed as well, it doesn't slide about too much. And if he does pull it out of position, I just slide it back in place. But he really enjoys scratching on that one as well. And then this is another good surface for cats to scratch on as well. He loves scratching this one, and once again I don't care if he destroys it because I'll just buy a new one. The other thing to do is I haven't bought any of my scratching posts brand new, so all of mine have been second hand, so they don't have to cost a fortune. If you look on selling sites, you'll see that some people have got scratching posts for sale because their cats have never used them. I think all three of mine had never been used, so I think I got one of them for £10, one for £20, and then another one for about 15, something like that. So it doesn't have to be really expensive either. So I'm really lucky because my Steve, he never ever scratches the carpet anymore. He doesn't scratch the furniture. We've got stair carpet. He has never scratched that, because he knows that the places for him to scratch are his posts or his mats. So cats can learn, they can learn like dogs. They might be a bit slower because they might be a little bit more stubborn, or they just want to do it in their own time. And the other thing as well is that cats might need a little bit of training in small little bursts. So don't expect to have your cat scratching a post within a day. It might take a little while, and sometimes you'll start training your cat and then your cat will just walk off, and that's just the cat's prerogative. That's just what cats are like, and that's why I find them quite funny. I'd be really interested to know any feedback from you guys, whether any of my tips have helped at all. So please put comments in the box below. I plan to do some other cat related videos as well, just because so many people have got cats. I think they're one of the most popular pets now. So if you like cat content, then please feel free to press the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.